Up here, thousands of meters above sea level, the Himalayas are an extreme, punishing environment. But for thousands of years, these harsh, snow-covered peaks have acted as a natural vault, preserving some of the most potent biological secrets on Earth. One of those secrets is documented in the Atharvaveda, an ancient Indian text that describes a single specific plant with a bold classification, Sarva Rognashini, which translates to the destroyer of all diseases. If we look directly at Book 19, Hymn 39 of the manuscript, we find highly detailed descriptions of this exact botanical specimen. The verses tell a fascinating origin story. They state that this herb was born from Amrita, the mythical nectar of immortality, at the highest summits of the Himalayan range. Today, we know this plant as Kushta, or Saussurea Lappa, and true to the ancient texts, it survives exclusively in a narrow altitude band between 3,000 and 4,500 meters. Curious, leaning in, this raises an interesting question. Is this ancient description of a cure-all born from immortality simply poetic mythology, or did the authors of the Atharvaveda encode a scientifically verifiable reality inside these verses? To understand how Kushta works, we first have to look at the traditional Ayurvedic framework. Early practitioners documented the physical properties of this plant as intensely hot, sharp, and distinctly bitter. This diagram illustrates how those specific thermal and taste properties interact with human anatomy. In Ayurveda, Kushta is used to target and neutralize deep root imbalances, specifically the Vata, or wind and space elements, and Kapha, the water and earth elements. When applied topically by grinding the dried Kushta root into a fine powder and mixing it with sesame oil, it became a primary treatment protocol for severe, chronic skin conditions. For deep-seated internal issues, the protocol changed. Practitioners combined it with ashwagandha, ghee, and honey to address respiratory and immune system attacks, including severe asthma, chronic fevers, and tuberculosis. Its chemical profile is so intense that historically, healers deployed it as a response to neutralize the venom from snakebites. These ancient records demonstrate a highly structured, symptom-specific medical framework for utilizing the plant's properties long before modern analytical tools were developed. Fast forward to the 21st century, and we can finally test those ancient claims using modern analytical chemistry. Researchers have tested Saussurea Lappa in clinical environments, mapping out the exact chemical payload stored inside its roots. This animation shows what they discovered. By isolating the active ingredients, scientists identified two highly potent bioactive compounds, costunolide and dihydrocaustislactone. When we watch how these compounds behave at the cellular level, their mechanism is aggressive. Clinical studies show they actively seek out and halt the proliferation of cancer cells. Modern medicine has found these specific molecules to be effective against certain malignant growths, particularly targeting liver, prostate, and gastric cancers. Beyond oncology, lab results also suggest the plant's effectiveness in treating severe stomach ulcers, intestinal inflammation, and chronic bronchitis. These clinical findings align with the specific internal applications described in the ancient texts, providing a chemical basis for its inclusion in the Vedic pharmacopoeia. Kushta remains a staple ingredient in contemporary Ayurvedic medicine. It serves as the crucial hero ingredient in specialized, commercially available treatments like Narayan Tela. The mechanical action of these Kushta-infused oils is remarkable. They are formulated to penetrate deep past the muscle tissue to reach bone structures, where they pull out inflammation and provide relief for joint pain, sciatica, and arthritis. The transition from ancient formulation to modern application relies on this same targeted pharmacology. A critical point of caution: because of its sheer biological potency, this is not a casual supplement. Any internal consumption or medical application of the Kushta herb must be done strictly under the guidance of a qualified Ayurvedic physician. When we step back and look at the history of this plant, we see a continuous line of knowledge. It stretches from the verses etched into the Atharvaveda directly onto the slides of modern labs. It suggests that early Indian wisdom was deeply rooted in specific observations, a legacy aimed at the oldest, most universal human wish: Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. May all beings be happy, and may all be free from disease.